Hi, this is Mimi Francis, leader of the Francis Home Team Real Estate Company, coming to you today from Fuquay, Verena. Hey, I had promised a further video talking about surveys and encroachments, which is a very important topic in real estate. We always recommend to our home buyers that they have a survey done of the land before we finalize the sale of their property. And a survey is a very specific, mathematic, very accurate delineation of the property lines of the lot of land that they're purchasing, be it small, be it large, quarter of an acre up to 20 acres, doesn't make any difference. Surveys are always an excellent idea, and let me give you an idea why. We had an incident come up just this week representing a buyer. Buyer had found a house they liked very much. It was about a 1/2 to 3 acre lot, real nice fenced backyard, very happy with the property. And the buyer made the right decision and went ahead and had a survey done. Closing attorney coordinated that, had a surveyor in, and we had the survey done. Well, gosh, what we found out from that survey is the sellers of the home, when they had the fence put into the backyard, weren't quite accurate enough, or potentially the fence company. But one way or another, there was a major encroachment. Come to find out that this quite nice fence actually went 4.5 feet onto the neighbor's property. That's a big encroachment. Occasionally we have found 4 inches, we have found maybe 6 inches. 4.5 feet is a major encroachment. Well, of course, the sellers had no idea that was the case. The sellers were horrified to find out about a week before closing that there was a major legal issue going on. And evidently the fence had been in for 8 years. When the fence had been put in, the next door neighbors whose property had been accidentally encroached didn't care, had no idea, didn't care, was perfectly fine. Well, the neighbors sold that house to someone who is renting the house out and now lives outside of the Triangle area. So our sellers contacted that new owner saying, hey, we found this out, we're so sorry. Would you sign this legal document that turns over that land and we'll pay you X amount for it? And this owner said, no dice. I don't want you to have 4.5 feet. I said, okay, well, would you sign this legal document that says it's okay to have the encroachment? And he also said, no dice, get your daggone fence off of my property. Well, my buyer certainly wasn't going to take responsibility for the cost and the hassle of moving the fence, so we talked about what are the options. Are we going to delay closing? How is the seller going to get that done? We actually worked it out fine. The seller had a fence company come in. They took out 6 feet. Each section of the fence was 6 feet. They took it out at the front and the back and reconnected those lines so that we would be sure we were well within our lot line and also the necessary setback. And my buyer was able to move forward and purchase the property. Very happy with that sale. Very, very pleased that my buyer made the right decision and had the survey done, because that was going to come up again. When our buyer decided to sell the house in the future, 2 years, 5 years, 20 years, whenever that point is, at some point a buyer was going to have a survey done, or a buyer of the property next door that had been encroached upon would want a survey done, and it would be very unhappy news. Far better to find it out when it was the seller's responsibility to rectify it rather than our home buyer's responsibility. Mimi Francis, leader of the Francis Home Team, that's a real good example of why a survey is always a good idea. And we look forward to being your go-to gals for buying or selling real estate in the Triangle area as well. Please let us be of service to you or someone you know. Just call me and we'll take real good care of them as well.